Nvidia can design the chip. TSMC can manufacture it. ASML can build the machine that makes that possible. But none of that matters if the data center cannot get enough electricity to turn the chips on. For OpenAI's new Ohio campus, SB Energy plans at least 10 gigawatts of new generation, roughly 10 large nuclear reactors, for one campus. Some of the power equipment can take 5 to 7 years. OpenAI's lease lasts 20. 3 clocks decide whether this works. Start with the site itself. The project sits in Pike County, Ohio, on land tied to the former Portsmouth gaseous diffusion plant. During the Cold War, this area helped enrich uranium for the United States. Now, part of it is being rebuilt around AI compute. It also gives the project something giant data centers struggle to find: a huge industrial site with room for dedicated infrastructure. OpenAI is not buying the campus. It signed a 20-year lease with SB Energy. SB Energy builds, owns, and operates the data centers. The first deployment is planned for 4.25 gigawatts of IT capacity. Nvidia holds an option tied to the remaining 3.75 gigawatts, which would bring the full OpenAI lease to 8. And even that first phase is absurd. A 1 gigawatt data center is already enormous by today's standards. The first Ohio phase alone is more than 4 times that. Now, separate the computers from the power plants. OpenAI's full lease reaches 8 gigawatts of IT capacity. SB Energy is planning at least 10 gigawatts of new generation around the project. Using a conservative household comparison, that generation is enough to roughly match the electricity use of 7.5 million American homes. That is not the data center. That is the power system being built around it. And that is where the semiconductor story turns into a power story. The chip shortage is not the only bottleneck anymore. Thousands of accelerators can be ordered, buildings can be financed, land can be secured. But electricity has to pass through physical equipment that cannot be downloaded, rushed by software, or manufactured overnight. Large power transformers are one of the clearest examples. Major transformer lead times are now commonly 3 to 5 years. And even the transformer has a bottleneck underneath it. Its core depends on grain-oriented electrical steel. Industry reporting points to essentially one significant domestic U.S. producer. So money can reserve a project. It cannot instantly create the steel, factory slot, and testing capacity needed to energize it. Some switchgear suppliers are reportedly sold out through 2028, and the gas turbines needed for new generation can have backlogs of 5 to 7 years. GE Vernova alone reported a turbine backlog around 100 gigawatts in early 2026. That is the first clock, the electrical equipment clock. The data center can be announced today. The equipment that energizes it may have to be ordered years before the first rack turns on. This is also why simply saying, "connect it to the grid," misses the problem. Across the US, grid interconnection queues have been averaging roughly 5 years. PJM, the grid region that includes Ohio, has been dealing with the same multi-year connection problem while data center demand accelerates. So, projects this large increasingly try to bring dedicated generation with them. That helps. But dedicated generation still needs turbines. Substations still need transformers. Fault protection still needs switchgear. Industry trackers warn that a meaningful share of announced U.S. data center capacity could be delayed by equipment constraints rather than AI chip shortages. That is the reversal. The most famous component in an AI data center is the GPU. The component that delays the opening may be a transformer almost nobody thinks about. Now the second clock starts moving, the technology clock. OpenAI is signing infrastructure commitments measured in decades. Nvidia is changing accelerator architectures on a much shorter cycle. Hopper arrived in 2022. Blackwell followed in 2024. Rubin arrived in 2026. The exact economic life of those chips is now a major argument in AI finance. Michael Burry argues frontier GPUs may lose their highest value role in only 2 or 3 years, and that hyperscalers are stretching depreciation schedules. Nvidia disputes that view. And there is real evidence for the other side. CoreWeave has contracts that keep 2020-era A100 GPUs working through 2029. Older accelerators can remain useful for inference even after they stop being the best option for frontier training. So nobody really knows the final useful life yet. That uncertainty is the point. The transformers may last for decades. The data center shell can last for decades. The lease lasts 20 years. But the hardware inside may be replaced again and again while those physical assets are still young. If a short 2 to 3 year replacement cycle became normal, the compute could turn over 6 to 8 times during one lease. If older GPUs keep earning money for 6, 8, or 9 years, the economics look very different. Same building, same power plant. Completely different return. That is the second clock. AI technology changes faster than the infrastructure underneath it. Then comes the third, the commitment clock. Nvidia is not just waiting for OpenAI to buy chips, it is helping make sure the infrastructure around those chips gets built. Nvidia agreed to invest $1.5 billion directly into SB Energy. It is also providing up to $105 billion of conditional guarantees connected to the Ohio build-out. Nvidia is not simply co-signing OpenAI's rent check. The support is tied to the infrastructure and its obligations. But the economic message is still remarkable. The company selling the GPUs now has a financial interest in making sure the buildings and power systems around those GPUs exist, because a chip sitting in a warehouse earns nobody much. A chip installed in a powered data center becomes revenue-generating infrastructure. There is another $4.2 billion committed to Ohio grid upgrades around the project. So the stack now looks like this. OpenAI commits to the compute. SB Energy builds the campus and generation. Nvidia sells the chips, invests in the developer, and helps backstop the infrastructure. 3 companies, 3 different incentives, 1 enormous requirement. Keep the machines powered and useful for long enough to justify the fixed assets around them. That is the economic test, because utilization can fall faster than the infrastructure bill. If demand weakens, the turbines, substations, cooling systems, and buildings do not shrink with it. Fewer useful GPU hours have to carry almost the same fixed physical system. That is when an enormous powered campus can become an expensive, underused campus. If you want to test those economics yourself, I made a free Absurd Assets mega project calculator where you can change project cost, utilization, margins, energy costs, and useful life. It is linked below. And Ohio is not the only project trying it. Meta's Hyperion campus in Louisiana grew from a roughly $10 billion 2-gigawatt plan to more than $50 billion and 5 gigawatts in about 18 months. Its dedicated generation build has been discussed around 10 to 11 gigawatts. So this is not just OpenAI. AI power demand is scaling faster than the traditional infrastructure supply chain was built to handle. That creates a dangerous feedback loop. AI demand rises. Companies order more GPUs. More GPUs require more data centers. More data centers require more turbines, transformers, substations, and transmission. Those components take years. So everyone orders them at once. The backlog gets longer. Then the infrastructure finally arrives after the technology and demand picture may have changed. This is the same timing problem that appears inside semiconductor manufacturing. TSMC can spend years building a fab for demand that exists today. ASML can spend years developing a machine customers may not need immediately. Now the data center has the same problem one layer downstream. The demand signal arrives first. The physical asset arrives later. Except here, the physical asset is not a $20 billion fab. It is an entire power system. So can OpenAI actually power this campus? Probably. This is not a project with no electricity plan. SB Energy is building dedicated generation. Billions are going into grid upgrades. Nvidia is helping finance the infrastructure. The harder question is whether all of it arrives on the right schedule and still makes economic sense when it does. Reduce the bet to the 3 clocks. Clock 1, electrical equipment. Transformers can take 3 to 5 years. Turbines can take 5 to 7. Clock 2, AI hardware. The highest value chip can change in a fraction of that time. Clock 3, the commitment. OpenAI is signing for 20 years. If the power infrastructure arrives fast enough, if the compute stays highly utilized, and if older generations can keep earning money after newer chips replace them at the frontier, the campus can work. But flip those conditions. Power equipment arrives late, AI demand cools. Newer accelerators change the economics. Then a 20-year asset can be supporting hardware whose value moved much faster than the concrete, steel, and turbines around it. That is why the real bottleneck may no longer be making the AI chip. Nvidia can design it. TSMC can manufacture it. ASML can build the machine that makes it possible. The next scarce component may simply be the electricity infrastructure required to turn all of it on. And unlike a GPU generation, you cannot software update away a 3 to 5 year transformer lead time.